Democrat Doug Jones' stunning victory in Alabama last night shocked some seasoned political observers, and his overwhelming support from black voters, especially black women, may have been the key. April Ryan is back with me. Also joining me now, CNN political commentators Joseph Pinion and Angela Rye. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. It's been an interesting 24 hours, to say the least. Angela, last night, during a special election in December, African-American voters eclipsed that and made up 29% of all voters, and then Jones won them by 96% to 4% African-American, and many prominent African-Americans. It was kind of below the radar because they didn't want to look like they were outsiders coming in to tell people what to do. So it was kind of it was a surprise to many, obviously.
Well, and I don't think it was a surprise. I think that what you saw is, whether it was Kamala Harris or Cory Booker or Barack Obama's robocall, it's folks, again, rising to the occasion, not waiting on the Democratic Party to give specific instructions, not waiting on Doug Jones' campaign to give specific instructions, but knowing that we got to do what we got to do. And again, shout out to Terry Sewell. Okay, so listen, put this into perspective for us, April. As a reporter who happens to be a woman of color, black women were 17% of the electorate yesterday, and they voted for Jones 98% to 2%.
Right. Well, when you look at the community, African-American women, we are becoming the highest. We're becoming increasing in number as the head of household, as the sole provider. And when you have people like Roy Moore talking the way he's talking, the stakes are at the highest they can be. And you have to go out and fight back. And the way they fought back was through their vote. Terry Sewell, like Angela said, really worked hard. And, you had people come in like Cory Booker, who is a rock star of the party, whose mother has roots in Alabama, who came in. They wanted to reach each one. And I remember talking to Terry Sewell over the weekend, and she said that we need the African-American vote. She said we don't have the numbers to put it all the way over the top, but if they had not had that African-American vote, and particularly the women, as well as the moderate Republicans, it would not be Doug Jones the winner. So when it comes to issues for women, for minority women, the stakes are high, and they know it. We are the ones who go to the polls. Yeah. We are the ones who lead the household. We are the decision makers a lot of times in the home. So they wanted to make a decision, and they made the decision through their vote, and it's clear it's Doug Jones.
It's frustrating to, I've heard over the last 24 hours, to many African-American voters, because they feel that, especially within the last 2 or 3 years, all they've heard on television is what rural white voters and working class voter, which now means white voters, what this person says, or the unheard Trump voter, when the people who are out now really in the election and determining the election since 2016 are voters of color. There's a frustration there, Joseph.
Well, I think that, to me, when you look at what we're facing right now, first and foremost, I think we have to give credit to not the Democratic Party, but as Angela said, to black people. I think that ultimately, one thing that I haven't heard people talk about is the Trump effect on the black vote. I think sometimes the Trump administration acts as if black people cannot see them, like as if somehow we cannot hear them, we cannot see them. So when you get on the Air Force One and fly down to Pensacola, literally the day before the Civil Rights Museum opening, to campaign for a man who said that the last time this nation was great was during slavery, to go to the U.S. Senate on behalf of faith that still to this day celebrates Robert E. Lee Day in conjunction with Martin Luther King Day, and act as if that's not going to have an effect on the African-American vote, I think that is short-sighted.
You said that this was a warning shot yesterday across the bow for the GOP that you have been warning, that people have been warning them about for years now.
For years. I think if you
about the black vote.
About the